Hey everybody, it's Matt Brown, and this one is Last Child by Aerosmith. So this one is tuned down a half step on every string, and we're in the key of E for the majority of the song. Alright, so we're going to start back at the beginning and look at the very intro to the song. So the intro to the song is played at a slightly slower tempo than the rest of the song. I clocked the beginning in at maybe around 69 or 70 beats per minute, and then the main riff and the rest of the song, which I was playing a second ago, is around 84 beats per minute. Alright, so anyway, let's check out what happens at the beginning. Alright, so that's the intro. Let's go through this chord by chord. The first one, it's a D minor add 9 with an A in the bass. So the fret numbers that you're going to have, this is played on the 4 highest strings pitch-wise. So you're going to have 7, 7, 6, 0. So there's an arpeggio pattern. So that's 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's pretty much the rhythm of it too. Alright, the next chord, we're going to do the same arpeggio pattern with the right hand, and the chord here is, it's like a G5 with an E added to like a G6 with no third, I guess is what you could call this. So this would be same strings, 5, 7, 8, open, so a 0 there. So alright, the next chord that we're going to do it's an E7 with a B in the bass, so still on the 4 strings closest to the floor, and we're going to slide into this one, and the frets are 9, 7, 9, open. Then we're going to do part of the arpeggio again, so just going up to the high E string. And then we're going to do this. So we're strumming this chord, moving it up a half step chromatically, and then another half step up from there. So again, the whole intro. So that takes care of the intro. Then the main riff kicks in. One guitar is doing this. So what you're doing is you're barring the 7th fret of the high 2 strings with your pinky, and then you're coming for an upstroke on the low open E string. So pretty tough thing to do if you're not used to this kind of thing. So let's add in the next couple of notes. So these extra notes now are on the 5th string at the 4th and 5th frets. So just 4, 5, 4, and those are played staccato. So let's put the whole thing together now. So the last part would be, so starting with a low E, then going up to the barred notes, 4th fret of your 5th string, and then 5 to 7 on your 5th string. So the fingering that I'm using, I'm shifting up to 5th position since there's a little bit of vibrato on the last note. Alright, so the other guitar is doing a much simplified or simpler version of the riff. So let's check out what that guitar is doing. So it's easier to play, and so you're just doing the is the idea slow. So most of what you're playing here is on the 5th string. So low 6th string at first, then 2 to 4 on your 5th string, then you're going to go 5, 4, 2, 4, that. So, all right. So let's talk about the next idea that comes in. I'm going to call this the pre-chorus part. So when guitar is doing this. Okay, so what you have here is a pedal low A string that's played against everything, and the frets that you're playing on the fourth string would be 5, 7, and every other note, every other eighth note that you're going to play is played staccato. So that goes 5, 7, 4, 5, 2, 4, and then you have. So that's open 2, 4, 5, and I do that with these fingers. So open to 1 and then shift. So then you're ready to start the riff again. So all of it. So the other guitar is playing some kind of funky type voicings that are implying sort of like an A9 kind of sound. So here's what this sounds like. So the first little bit, that's implying your A9 chord. It sounds like this is played on a Strat with a neck pickup probably. Just barring across the 12th fret of the high 3 strings. And then what you're going to do is you're going to play the 15th fret of your 2 high strings, just 2, and this is going to be played staccato, so you have 1. Okay, then you're going to have a rest on beat 3. On beat 4 you're going to have, so that's playing in G sharp 9, which would be just barring across your 11th fret of the 3 high strings. Next measure is exactly the same as is. Actually, there's a slight variation in the third measure of it. We just go 1. So we're leaving out the 15th fret thing. Alright, the next measure we get this. So just kind of a rhythmic variation there to seal off the end of this pre-chorus. Alright, so then we're going to go back to the main riff and the overdub part that goes along with it. And then we're to the chorus, the home sweet home part. Okay, so both guitars are doing this for the chorus. So it's another pedal tone idea, so implying like a D chord to an A chord. So to start it, you're just playing an open D note. So then what you're doing, I'll just play the third string by itself. So you're bending a half step, letting it come back down, swing a pull off to the 9th fret, and sliding to 7. And then a pull off 7 to 9 back to 7. So all together. Then you're going to do the same thing on the 4th and 5th strings, just the beginning of the riff. So just this part, and then the end of the riff is. So you're playing the 9th fret, then the 5th fret of the 4th string. So here's the chorus all together. Then we're back to the main riff. Okay, what we have left to talk about is the guitar solo. So I'm going to throw on a backing track and play that for you, and then explain it. I'll do it slower. Okay, so let's talk about some music theory and what scales he's using. So Joe Perry, more often than not, for a lot of his solos, he's blending the minor pentatonic scale with the major pentatonic scale. So in this case, your E minor pentatonic scale and E major pentatonic scale. So you'll have riffs or licks like the opening lift that combine the scales. Then you have a lot of pentatonic stuff by itself, stuff like that. And then like right after that, like a major pentatonic idea. So he's kind of going back and forth or directly mixing the scales within the licks. So a few things we need to talk about with the solo are the lick behind the overdub lick. It's a harmony lick. So that, it's just played out of your major pentatonic. I'm not even going to explain the frets. I'm guessing you guys will probably want the tablature for the solo. Anyway, the riff that's played under, like the rhythm guitar riff that's under the solo, we need to talk about that too. So let's check that out. So slowly. So pretty easy, kind of reminiscent of the main riff. So yeah, that's really it to this song. As far as the tone goes for like the solo part, it sounded to me like he's throwing on maybe like a tube screamer for a little extra gain, or just maybe turning up the gain knob on whatever amp. There's probably it sounds like some chorus on there for like a little warbly modulation sound, and otherwise just a little reverb. The beginning of the song is pretty drenched in reverb, like the opening guitar part. The main guitar parts sound like just humbucker guitars. Maybe one of them was like a thicker single coil guitar like a Telly, who knows. So yeah, not too much overdrive there on those parts. So yeah, that's really all there is to it with this one. It closes out with the main riff and some just like pentatonic ad-libbed soloing. I did transcribe that stuff, so if you guys want the tabs, just let me know and I'll send that to you. Alright, so please subscribe and thanks a lot for watching. I'm Matt Brown and I'll see you guys around.